All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Those of you tuning in bright and early, I greatly appreciate you as always. We're going to get started with some more Dragon Age Origins tonight. I'm quite excited and I hope you guys are as well. We're going to be moving on from Orzammar finally. I feel like we've been on Orzammar forever now, which it could just be because like we were stuck there for like an entire week and a half maybe, but we'll kind of see where we are when we get back into the game. I know we have some things that we want to definitely talk to our new party member. I'm drawing a blank on his name, because most of the time I don't get to pick him up until like really late. Because I think, well, obviously I just do Orzammar last apparently. Uh, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well, because I think it'll be a fun time. Because we'll be moving on to all new stuff today. Either go to Denerim. I think we'll hit Denerim last. That way we can kind of like that'll be like one of our last places we hit. And like any sort of side questy stuff, we can kind of just be like, yep, we'll just hit Denerim and then we'll move on and kind of go from there kind of deal. That's what I'm kind of thinking. That's my thought. That's my idea. So that's what we're going to go for tonight. But I'm very excited. I do apologize about being late. I had to take care of something that I forgot about, and then I wanted to restart my computer to see if it would fix a thing, but it didn't seem to fix the thing. So here the thing is still broken, but it's nothing you guys can notice or anything. It's just something I'll notice, and it'll mean that I don't get to see the alerts as soon as as you guys, as they'll come in and whatnot. But that's okay. But I'm excited for tonight. I hope you guys are as well. Should be a nice and fun time as we get started and rocking and rolling, all that good stuff. Welcome in, Sour Mage. It's nice seeing have you here. How are you doing? Has a special guest user. I'm glad you like it so much, Zeke. You may not be appropriate for this stream. But welcome in, Sour Mage. Welcome in, Zeke. It's nice to see and have both of you here. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. It did look cute from the picture you sent me. I'm not sure if I'd say necessarily like jealous or anything, but I mean, I wouldn't mind having one, of course. But like, I'm not one to really get jealous over stuff like that. Honestly, it's just not who I am, really. If that makes any sense at all. Maybe that's just me though. But I'm quite excited for tonight. I hope you guys are as well. Which he had a little nose to boop. Understandable. We're gonna go ahead and pop in on screen. It's just a... Yeah, no. I'm not even a revenge person either. Probably be lurking, still on a quest to find why you're in pain. I'm sorry, Sour Mage. I hope you feel better. Hopefully you can figure it out. But revenge is a dish best served cold. Doesn't mean I need to serve it. Because I'm an ice wolf doesn't mean I'm the one to serve it. What's colder than an ice wolf? I don't know. An iceberg? That's pretty cold. I think an iceberg is pretty cold, I'm not gonna lie. A dry ice wolf? Okay, okay. You got me there, Sour Mage. All right, that's a good one. I'll give you that. Plus 10 points to Sour Mage. All right. So I also think it's been enough time for like plot and stuff for us to kind of whatchamacallit, try to build up relationship with our friends. Ogren is a berserker. I'll have him go champion. That makes sense to me. There's a plot? Yes, there is. I know. How surprising. Just would never put points here. Because it's more for like auto battle. And I prefer to control everything myself. I'm a little bit of a control freak, I can admit that. What do I even give him? Sure, make traps. Yes. Let's go. Critical strike, sure, why not? Morrigan's not liking us right now. Alistair's liking us a decent bit. Liliana's liking us a decent bit, too. Liliana really likes us. Win is ready to level up. I think I'll have her go Arcane Warrior. That sounds interesting. Combat training I can definitely see, because that's like kind of useful. Life ward. Stinging Sword. Bonus to mana regeneration. Welcome in, Shadow. It's nice seeing have you here. How are you doing? There's so many spells that it's like, I don't know what to pick. Shadow. He's got 15 points for us, the good boy. I dump a bunch of it into strength. Fuck. It's a passive Sten. I think I'd have Sten go Berserker and Champion. Honestly. I guess I should have gone Templar for myself. But I did kind of want to do something different than Alistair. $40 for that. I'll give you some points into dexterity. I'll give you 4 there. I'll give you a couple points to constitution. Make some more poison. Make some more poison. And since we pretty much got to raise him how we want, this is pretty good. Yep. We'll go for that. Gotta get everyone leveled up and stuff. 40. He's already got a really high constitution, but I'll make it an even number because not even numbers bother me. Oh, great. Something's going to have to be uneven. God, what do I make it? I'll do 15's an even odd number. Ooh. That seems better for him. Alright, and then Zevran. What did I have Liliana do? She's a bard and a ranger. I'll have him do duelist. Give him a few extra points to strength. And cunning. Cunning is important for him. Improved stealing. Yeah, he definitely needs more cunning. Lacerate. No point in him putting points there. I'm almost tempted my next playthrough to go dual weapons. Thank you, Flair, for reminding me to save my game. I shall do that right now. We just did a whole bunch of leveling up. And thank you for the self-care package. I shall do that. I have some nice lemonade here. Thank you, Flair, for the lyric. I do appreciate it. Does mean a lot. Does help out a lot. And since it's been a while, let's do a bunch of talking to everyone. We have Ogren to talk to. And we have some people here. Turn in gems for the dwarves. Gives all sapphires. Turn in gems for the dwarves. All malachites. That's the other reason why we want to hold on to all this stuff, too. Which means we need to go to Soldier's Peak and pick up all that stuff, too. Something about Mordecai? I have no idea what clip that was.
Orzammar has sent her best, Warden. It has been a long time since the Dwarven army has marched on the surface.
Do you need anything?
Outfitting any army on short notice, there's always room for more gear. Gems would serve the most utility. The Middlestone, sapphires, and the like. We're dealing with many smaller foundries, and larger values might overwhelm. At your command, Warden. Orzammar's finest are eager to carve some history.
Keep them at the ready.
Don't worry about that.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist.
That's your current... Oh, yeah, you are.
As do the Templars of the Chantry.
I'll just have to ask you later.
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes. The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
They'll work together?
The sincerity of your cause has drawn them together under a common banner. It would not have happened otherwise. The Circle of Magi,
be ready.
As is my...
At your word, Warden.
Do you need anything?
We have assembled on a short schedule. Certain factors of equipment could be better. Crafting components would serve best. Basic ones like elf root and deep mushroom.
What was the clip that he's talking about, Czar?
Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Don't know why.
What's wrong, Ogren?
Nothing. I'm fine. Just, I got a hornet in my eye is all. Did you want to talk about something?
Would like to know more about you.
What about?
Are you sure you're fine with what happened to Bronca?
Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway.
You're handling this well.
Handling what? Bronca? That treasure's been long buried. Ancestors take me. You people whine like tea kettles around here. Just leave me alone, Warden. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, I okay, now I know. But I don't know what Flair means by hiccup or Mordecai. Welcome in, Czar. It's nice to see you. Hello to you, Czar. Why, are you upset about something?
Upset? I don't get upset. I get drunk. Did you want to talk about something?
I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
How do you like the surface?
It's sodding great. At first I was a little queasy with all that air, but there's just so much of it. No one has any idea who you are or what you're doing. And the ale. Oh, who'd have thought? Ale made with grain. Aye, the surface is great. It's like a big, bright world of filth without a ceiling. My kind of place. Hey, let's go find something to kill, huh? All this talk makes my hands twitchy.
I don't think I've ever seen How to Train Your Dragon, actually. If I have, I don't remember anything of it. I know it had, like, several sequels, but it didn't ever really interest
What
me.
you need?
I don't know why. It just never did. Welcome in, Electropod. It's nice seeing have you here. How are you doing tonight?
What about?
Do you miss Orzammar?
What? Miss Orzammar? Are you mad, in addition to being ugly?
Wow.
They treated me like a puddle fly back there.
Welcome in,
I'm
Master
never
Nemo.
going back.
I'm doing alright over here, Electro. Thank you for asking.
All right.
We'll talk more later.
Aye. All right, then. What you need?
I'd like to know more
What
about you.
about?
What's it like to be a warrior in Orzammar?
You get a sword or an axe, and are told to go out and defend your city. It's the best thing in the world. That
He
is
does
until
have
you
very
try to
interesting
live
responses.
In the city you saved.
What do you mean?
I mean, they train you to kill, teach you to harness your rage at the first noise you hear, then try to set 100 sodding rules about it. Like those provings. Ancestors show their favor through the strongest arm, right? So why so many rules saying how to fight and when you win and not to bloody kill? Killing's what swords are for.
I see what you mean.
You toss a nug to a deep stalker, you don't expect it not to eat the thing, right? This makes
Go to
me
Union at all.
cranky. Don't you have
No
any
worries at all,
other
Magister
inane
Nemo. Thank you for
questions?
the lurk. I do appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Aye. All right, then.
Do take care of yourself.
What you need?
Can you teach me to fight like you do?
You want to be a berserker? Thought I'd never see the day. Aye, I'll teach you. Just be ready. To be a berserker, you have to face your own inner rage. Let the spirit of battle take over. And all that dust. There's a whole pile of philosophical rot that goes behind it. But the bedrock is this. Get real mad and kill things.
Please then, teach me.
I can teach you what gets my hackles in a twist, but no one can tell you what'll set off that killing rage in you. Finding that is the key to berserking. Once you got that, I tell you, the ladies love it when you're all mysteriously angry for no reason. Trust me. You're a quick study, Warden. You must have been seriously steamed up about something for a long time.
So I wonder if we didn't already have Berserker, we would have gotten it for free there. I didn't think of that. I didn't realize that, actually. Tell me more about Berserkers.
What the sod is there to know? The hard part is getting in touch with your rage. We all learn to hold that back. It's why we don't kill every duster who looks at us sideways. You need to shut that off. For some people, being in battle is enough. But others have to think about something. Violence, monsters, nobles, your wife.
Welcome in,
whatever.
Reese. It's nice to have you here. How are you doing tonight? I need to get a shout out for not only Flair, but also Reese, now that I'm thinking about it. So, is there a romance path I'm looking for? I haven't officially decided on one yet, but actually, no. Female Grey Warden has 3 options. And I think male has 2. Unless one switches. Because I know for one of the characters, they'll go tad lackluster, yeah. Because I think there's only 2 matches, and I don't want to say what they are, and I think I know what they are. For the male Grey Warden, there's 2. I think. Unless the third one that I'm thinking of for the female Grey Warden also switches for male and female. But one of the 2 is technically bisexual, so she'll so they'll go back and forth. The other one that I'm thinking of, I'm not sure if they go back and forth as well. Your wife?
Especially my wife.
Just thinking about it works?
For most berserkers, it does. Several years ago, I worked with a berserker on one expedition who just couldn't work himself up. We had to kick him in the stones before he could get going.
Why would you want to fight that way?
Why not? When you fight, you get mad. By the stone, it's a sodding tactic to enrage your enemy so he makes a mistake, right? Berserkers grab that anger and drink it like it's yesterday's ale. Then we turn it against our foes and watch the limbs fly.
And just getting angry. Just getting... Sentence makes like no sense to me. And just getting thinking angry thoughts makes it happen. Doesn't sound right.
For most berserkers, it does. Several years ago, I worked with a berserker on one expedition who just couldn't work himself up. We had to kick him in the stones before he could get going.
Thank you for the lesson. Goodbye.
All right then.
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Heard that in Orlais, minstrels were often spies.
Where did you hear this?
Read it in a history book.
And did you not think that this could be historical fact and no longer true? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
Oh, early Liliana. I know, she's so sweet. And the bards are spies?
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of
It's
a
not
patron who pays
cooperating.
for their services.
No worries at all, Reese. It's nice
If
to
there
see
is
you.
an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Patron? What sort of patron?
Nobles, mostly. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
But why were you living cloistered sister in rural Ferelden?
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to see the Maker brought me here.
Liliana approves.
Something I can help with?
Can you teach me to be a bard?
I don't think you have the correct aptitude. I could give you some pointers, though. You may be able to pass them on to someone you know. Let's just go over there, away from the others, for safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time. Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you
Yes?
about something.
What's on your mind?
Why'd you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
Do you remember nothing of your mother?
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Andraste's
Something I can
Grace,
help with?
huh? I'd like to talk to you about
Yes?
something.
What's on your mind?
Do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the grand cathedral. It was magnificent.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sorts of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Oh, I love shoes.
When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Olay were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
I know, right? So ugly and shapeless.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Welcome in, Panda. It's nice to see and have you here. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
You were a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to
Thank you,
keep them
Flair,
to
for reminding me to
myself.
say my game again.
Everyone should be able
Thank
to
you for the
benefit
self-care
from them, I
package.
think.
Indeed, sitting up straight. Stretch. Oh, never mind. Stretched, hydrate, and sitting up straight. Thank you for that, Flair. Appreciate it. Care to answer some questions?
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Tell me about your adventures.
My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
Yes. Playing some Tears of the Kingdom at the moment. And Liliana in her Tales of Home. It goes good so far. We're going to do a little bit of catching up with a bunch of our party members that we either haven't used or pretty much even if we have been using them, kind of catch up. It's been a minute since we've talked with everyone, and I think we've gotten all the possible companions now. You certainly talk like you've had adventures.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics.
There. The Crows were willing to angle? Yeah. Anger the circle of magi.
In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the Crows. They've killed kings and queens.
Angle,
That is
yep.
simply how it is.
Another
As
one
it
of my
turned out,
can't
the
read
mage in
compilation.
question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
And she didn't try to kill you?
Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly.
Were you upset?
At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around.
Except for the mage. These sort of things happen to you often.
Like being spared by a benevolent mark who then helps me escape from the Crows? Yes, it does seem to happen now and again, doesn't it? It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
So you never mix business with pleasure?
Well, there is you. But I'll point out that you did have to capture me and tie me up first. Every rule has its exception. Now that I've mentioned tying me up in that context, do we have extra rope about?
Well then. All right then. That's not really where I was expecting that to go. I mean, now that I remember, yeah, I kind of remember him saying something like that now. It's been a while since I've
All right,
gone down
but I get to stare at you luridly
Zevran's
while you do so.
conversation tree. Tell me more about your
Well,
adventure.
Well, now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once.
Jesus. I like to play. I didn't say anything. He said it. Said I tied him. Yes, because he was a prisoner. He tried to kill me. Make sure you have all the context, Czar, before you start taking notes. If you like, certainly.
No, I'll not inflict that upon you just yet. Let's see. How about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Azrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
Killed a prince.
Me? Not personally, but I did take part in the attack. Prince Azrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Azrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells.
Is this sort of thing common in Tiva?
Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the Crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a Crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
What did you do?
My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history.
Welcome in, Liz. It's nice seeing have you here. How are you doing tonight? I don't think I've seen that emote just yet. That's a cute little emote now. You getting new emotes for yourself, Liz, aren't you? You got robbed by urchins?
I had to find my way back to the safe house, bruised and naked, and thankful to be alive. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories. I care to answer some questions.
All right, but I get to stay
I
at
am
you
all right.
rudely while you do
I'm
so.
doing all right over here, Liz. Thank you for asking.
Well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything.
It's all right. I understand.
Thank you. Perhaps another day, huh?
He appreciates that I didn't pry. I'm good. It's nice to see you, Liz. Hopefully you're doing well today. Let's talk to Sten.
Yes,
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Well, I'm sorry.
Very well.
I'll fuck off. Want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then,
That's enough for
and
now.
I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Good talk.
I have a question for it, if it will indulge me. My understanding is that it encountered the smith named Caradin. He who was responsible for the creation of the golems, that he had become a golem himself. What I do not know is what became of him. Why did he not return with it? I would have many questions for him.
A good conversation with the Quinari, to be honest. True. I'm so sorry. He killed himself.
He killed himself? Ah, I would doubt it, but no, I see it is telling the truth. May I ask what became of the Anvil of the Void, assuming that it too still existed?
It was destroyed as Karadin wanted.
Then it was no doubt for the best. With Karadin also goes any chance I might have had of finding answers on my past, I assume. Tell me, did it find out anything from Karadin? Anything at all about how I might have been made?
The anvil made golems from living souls.
Meaning that I was once a living creature? That seems highly unlikely, and more than a little insulting. Is it certain?
I'm not trying to insult you, Shale.
Was I forced into this? Or simply glad to abandon a frail body? And more importantly, who was I? I simply must know. I
You were
cannot
once
help
squishy,
but
it's
believe
true.
that answers lie elsewhere in the deep roads. We must look.
I'll see what I can do.
If it can search the deep roads, I may remember something. If not, then I will have to wait.
Golem's memories. We have a new side quest now. Shale's personal quest. Take a look at that eventually. Actually, before we start talking to Morgan, let's go back to Shale and continue discussing things. Shale, I do agree. Shale is pretty great. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
How did Wilhelm come to acquire you?
That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away.
Do you know where in the deep roads this was?
No, that secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish.
Squish. Welcome in, Stuff. It's nice seeing have you here. How are you doing tonight? You don't know why you were there?
I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. Bah, in short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference.
What was Wilhelm doing in the deep roads?
It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser.
Wouldn't that have been dangerous?
Indeed. He had spells that allowed him to remain hidden and move quickly, but he had no defense against the blight and worried constantly that he would get sick. If any darkspawn showed themselves, he fled. More often, he would have to fight other scavengers, dwarves who had become tainted. In the end, it killed him. I mean, he found me there, right?
So if he hadn't found you...
I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that.
Let's move on.
On then.
Shale approves. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You watched that village day and night for years?
I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Yes, that would be rather horrid.
And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Sounds a little messy.
Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
He approves still. He gets a minor strength improvement. I do really like Shale. I love his voice actor too. It's so perfect.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You don't seem to like humans much.
That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff or something.
Still with me, I see.
Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
No, stay. You're quite helpful.
No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks if it likes.
Are they dirty limericks? Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
Other than Karadin, they didn't speak.
And now there shall be no more. I suppose it is for the best. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
I agree. Being golem would be... Nah, I don't know if I... It is an experience, I'll give it that.
So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth, Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
I might have... Oh no, I did get some approval. Thank you, Flair, for the self-care package. I am hydrating, sitting up straight, and I shall stretch. Thank you, Flair.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Can you teach others to become shape changers?
I cannot teach you, no. But any other mages that cared to learn, yes, I could do that. Send whoever you wish my...
No, we already talked about that.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Oh, okay, no new conversation with Morgan. What is our approval rating with her? It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. We even made some progress with Ogren. Sten kind of likes us. Zevran's liking us too. Go talk to Wynn, and then we'll talk to Alistair. Yes, our pupper.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
No, you're a person.
Ha, very funny. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
I'm sure you'll be kicking around for years yet.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
No, the ones in the towers were the first I've ever seen.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
You're a great mage. You would never become an abomination.
Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone, replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
One retains one's humanity when is not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
Oh, I definitely agree with you there, Reese. It definitely is a very...
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey
interesting
Warden?
path. Arl Howe massacred my family. Duncan helped me escape.
Arl Rendon Howe? The Arl of Amaranthine? Why would he do such a thing to you?
I'm the daughter of Bryce Kuzlin, Terran of Highever.
You are the last of the Kuslans? I had no idea, my lady.
I always took my family and our name for granted.
There is nothing I can say to ease your pain. I am sorry. Take heart, dear friend. You survived, even when you were not expected to. We do not know yet what lies in store for you, or the name you carry. It is not so bad, is it, being a Grey Warden?
I just hope I can show the strength Duncan saw in me.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
Something also I want to point out, because I know I haven't pointed this out yet. I was talking with a friend, and technically this game does have a canonical main character, and that would be a city elf. I'd have to talk to him as of why, although I think it's more of a story of we realize that it is an end at the end, but that's what everyone has in store for canon. We'll be playing what I want throughout the Dragon Age games, but I do want to make mention of it since I do know it now. It's something that I keep meaning to bring up and I kind of forget to. But the canonical Grey Warding is a city elf. So technically we're not playing canon, but I did talk to him and he was he said, "No, you're fine. A human is also still a really good storyline as well." Means I've chosen to do something important.
There's that, of course.
That's true too,
But
Zar.
there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others, about serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
And that's kind of like what I talked about with my friend. He's a dear friend of mine. He was like, it's not a bad thing if you do your own story either. Even if you were to go on like the worst possible paths or pick like the worst possible options, you still end up getting a pretty good story, is what he said to me. I will keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
And like I said before, we're going to take a little bit of a break from Dragon Age for after Origins. We'll probably come back to the DLC a little bit. Eventually, before we do 2, maybe. I don't want to promise that. But another reason we're taking a break is because when we go from 1 to 2, it kind of does its own thing from what he was telling me. But he was saying definitely give 2 another chance and give Inquisition a chance as well. So we'll probably play through those sooner than I was expecting, but I don't want to like us to come back to 2 and be like, wait, what happened? What are we doing? Who are we? Kind of deal. So I don't want to wait too long on that. But we will be taking a break from it to play through Disgaea. Maybe we'll pick back up with Dragon Age after we finish Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I played a little bit. I think I mentioned this before. I played a little bit of 2. I didn't get into it when I started out in it. But I think he said that it kind of starts out a little bit weird, but then it starts to get a little bit better as you go on and kind of accept it for what it is. So I'm willing to give it another shot. I know 2 is kind of controversial from what I hear. And I know he really does like Inquisition a good bit too. But I've also heard that for some people, Inquisition's gameplay is also weird. If it's something that we start I'm not having fun with, I don't know if I will continue with it, but I will give it a fair and even enough chance. That way we can definitely see through the entire story. So in a way, having power confines you.
If you live apart from others and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. Is there something you need?
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower? Oh, please don't crash.
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I'm sure you will be able to return if you so choose.
Perhaps. Is there something you need?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
What about your family?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Was he seriously hurt?
I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Who knows what they would have done to me had he been more seriously hurt. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
What happened when you arrived at the tower?
I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
It's a great story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
At least you learned the dangers of magic from the circle.
Without the circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
There's nothing else I want to discuss right now.
Is there something you need?
Like to ask something about the circle?
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Nothing right now. I do like how Wynn gives you a perspective of the circle's not that bad. I still don't like the way that they treat magic users in this universe. But I also get that it does come from a place of fear. It doesn't necessarily make it right, but I understand it. And I also understand why someone like Morgan has such a strong disdain for the circle. Because,
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
oh. Good, he will fell our enemies with his stench. Compared to a lot of the younger mages. Yeah, she's she's definitely like a kind-hearted mother or even grandmother, depending on your perspective, who's just wanting to be a mentor to all and, help anyone. I really do like Wynn's character a lot.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Can you just not smell them? Bathe? Can't you just wave your staff and make him clean? He's a warhound, not some pampered and powdered lapdog. Go ahead, he is getting a little rank.
Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
Shadow. Alright, I think we talked to everyone except for Alistair.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
You were raised in the Chantry. Have you never...
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
You know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter?
Now you're making fun of me.
Make fun of you, dear lady. Perish the thought. Well, tell me, have you ever licked a lamppost in winter?
Welcome in, Bzen. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Bzen and Raider. Oh, of course, no brain moment here. Welcome in, Bzen and Raiders. How's Skyrim going? Welcome in. Sit back, relax, make yourself comfy and cozy. I am my Swift but variety streamer over here. We play a lot of old school RPGs. Not a whole lot we won't play though. Wide variety of things. Fun that I'm sure anyone could find over here. It's not what I meant, and you know it.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about. I admit I've never had a woman just come out and ask me like this, that's for sure. I myself
messed up by
never
mages and
had
cultists.
the
Fun.
pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it.
Have I ever licked a lamppost in winter?
But
No, I haven't had a Christmas story moment. Oh, that's so cute. You're a virgin.
Cute? Well,
Oh,
hearing
that
from a
whimper.
beautiful woman does make me feel much luckier. I'll say that.
Apparently your luck ends here. You think I'm beautiful.
Of course you are, and you know it. You're ravishing, resourceful, and all those other things you probably hurt me for not saying.
So glad you remembered. You flattered me.
That's what I'm here for. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. Let us be off then, lest your risque talk make my ears blush.
I will say I do like Alistair. It's not obvious at this point. He is one of the romance options. But Alistair is like one of those lovers that it's like, you love him, but then you want to punch him, but then you want to love him again. Because he's such a constant smartass through and through. Okay, cool. I didn't want to save the game anyway.
At your service.
I have some
Of
questions.
course.
What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
Been a Grey Warden longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
Try that line on me. He wouldn't tell you?
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
I haven't felt anything like that.
Really? Because I was watching you wolf down food the other day, and I thought, ooh, it's a good thing she gets a lot of exercise.
I would have definitely playfully punched his arm there. Can I say I'm a growing girl?
I'll say. I didn't mean it like that. No, don't hit me. I bruise easily. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
I've had some strange dreams.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live, give or take. The taint, it's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
Why Orzammar?
You'll always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. And there you have it.
Seems a high price to pay. I never wondered that. I understand.
You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
You will be remembered, Alistair, as will the others.
I know. Ending the blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
Alistair approves.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
What was it like to be a Grey Warden with all the others? Thank you, Flair, for the self-care package and reminding me to save my game.
I didn't know them for very long. But I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family, since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know.
No, I'd like to hear about them. Weren't there any women?
Not as Grey Wardens. Not while I was there. I saw pictures of some, though none of them were as pretty as you are. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? Gregor... He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table.
Just one of the boys, I see. Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Until...
Not this again. Are you done yet? Sorry, this must be hard for you.
Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
Not at all.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
I definitely understand that feeling. That's like one reason why I still very much treasure my copy of Children of Mana, for example, for the DS, because while that and Final Fantasy V on the GBA, because I was supposed to give those back to my great aunt. More specifically, Children of Mana, but before she went into the hospital, the last time, I was like, I want to finish the game. Bang! I thought I was much closer to finishing than I was. I went over it a little bit more and during that playthrough, but safe to say I was never able to give it back. So I definitely understand how
I'm
he
wondering
feels.
something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask?
Thank you, Zara. Thank you. Go ahead. I don't mind.
How about Ogren? You must have an opinion on the smell, at the very least.
It's I'm fine. It's from a long time ago. Like I was very young when I lost her. But in a lot of ways I try to carry on her memory during us streaming, and because I think that's one of the ways she wants to be remembered, you know? Or she would have wanted to be remembered. Today is definitely one of those days where I was thinking more about her, so it's a little bit fitting. At least not in the same way, but I can. For those that don't know, my great aunt was very much like, I would go to say she was more a grandmother to me than anything else, but she was very nerdy, for those that don't know, and she had a love for all these types of games and whatnot. She was great. So, very much try to carry on her memory this way. He's an excellent warrior.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. For a drunk, he's an excellent warrior, right? How he lifts his sword is a bit of a mystery. Though I suppose the point is that he does lift it. And so long as we can point him in the right direction, he charges too. He has gusto, I'll give him that. Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow?
What he said about Ogren, at least he points it at the right side. Very much thinks of the League when Ash says, "Brom, are you drunk? You're on the wrong side." Again. I love that. Yes, I actually do.
Really? Why? That's a lot of trust to put in someone who tried to kill you.
I'm willing to give him a chance.
Well, if you are, then maybe I should too. But that doesn't mean I won't keep an eye on him. He's just too shifty. What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big.
It kind of takes me back to Fire Emblem Three Houses, where actually we didn't get to see it, but one of the characters, I'm not gonna say who, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. One of their supports with someone is they're trying to learn how to be stealthy, and they they actually become successful. They're bad at it at first, but they do become successful, and it's like it scares their mentor in that aspect, and it made me laugh because it was so funny. I respect him.
The more I talk to him, the more reasonable he does seem. His philosophy is so strange. But it doesn't sound at all as vile as the Chantry describes it. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you?
It does bother me a little. Seems to regret what he did.
I'm not so sure that his regret means the same as it would for us. The Kunari sense of honor is a bit hard to grasp. For me, anyway. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision?
It could be true. Who's to say it isn't?
Maybe you're right. It's not as if she could have known that we needed help so desperately after all. Yet, there she was. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life.
It was her choice.
Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said.
What reason could she have to betray us?
Hello? Have you met her? I think she'd need a reason not to betray us.
Hang on, my screen's flickering out again. I think we're useful to her.
Well, there is that. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Alistair approves.
At your service.
I have a question.
Of course.
Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough.
Keep
At
your opinions up. Gonna read it. I'd say still be careful with even that, Zara, because that does hint at something.
Of course.
And to be fair, I know what you're referencing, and that's not even guaranteed.
Sure, I could. I could even teach you, I suppose. Anyone who's been trained as a warrior. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever you want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
At your service.
Some questions.
Of course.
Never mind.
At your service.
I'd like to discuss something
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
I need to tell you how much I enjoy your company.
You know, I was just thinking the same thing. Given the circumstances, things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you, instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounded better in my head. I just mean to say that I can't imagine having done this without you.
I feel the same way. You're so goofy. Hey, let's not go that far. I feel the same way.
Now we just need to be rid of that pesky archdemon, and everything will be back to normal, right?
Absolutely. What is our approval? don't know if I've saved.
At your service.
At your service.
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right? Fair enough.
I don't know if I'm ready to commit just yet.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Maybe I messed something.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
My favorite crew's back together. Kadash Tig. This is for... What's his face? Shale. He's having a hard time. We could visit that today. No, we'll visit it at a little bit of a later point. When I head to Soldier's Peak, and yes, quite. Bronca's shield. Oh, I never went back through Orzammar and picked up all the stuff. I'm honestly almost not even worried about it. Bronca's shield, wooden kite shield.
What can I do for you, Warden?
Keep looks a lot different.
Hard to believe they were undead.
Why did he sound like he was in a fucking tunnel? Hello? Dryden, did you walk into a tunnel? I'm losing connection. Do you have one of those cheap cell services? Any trouble with Avernus?
I've not a peep from him, but I keep telling the children to stay away. Certainly.
He sounded so fucking far away. Let's get rid of these. Oh, I didn't realize that was a ring. I need to equip that, like, right now. God damn it. Yeah, that's a good ring. Let's Let's see. Olaf's prize cheese knife. London's Reach. Heavy plate. Ancient elven armor. Let's drop off these runes, and then maybe we can take some of these other things to the whatchamacallit. Can put these things in the whatchamacallit, the crates. I want to hold on to these runes for right now because I'm not sure what I'm going to end up using. I probably don't really need the novice or the journeyman runes, but I still kind of want to hold on to them for right now. Because I'll be honest, I've never really super messed with enchantments and such. I don't know if I can give the elves anything else. Can I change my party? No, I have to, like, literally go back and forth if I... We're gonna go back to the party camp. I need to look over equipment as well. I'm tempted to do this off screen, but...
I lied to you, you know, about why I left Orlais.
Why?
I didn't feel like talking about it then. What happened to me. Maybe it will affect us, maybe not, but you should know. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais.
Hunted? What for?
I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine. She was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did.
How did she betray you?
You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents.
You opened them, didn't you?
My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevara and Antiva among others. It was treason.
Isn't that what bards do?
Some. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. My life as bard taught me that my loyalties should be kept fluid. My concern was not that she was a traitor, but that her life would be in danger if she was caught. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh view of such things, as I later discovered.
What do you mean?
I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. I believed her. I kept believing up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand, to make me look the traitor.
Who's they?
The Orlesian guards. They captured me. Did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured. And at the end of it, all that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave.
How'd you get out?
The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again.
And so you came to Ferelden, Lothering.
I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this.
Thank you for trusting me with this. You'll be safe in my company.
It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding.
Okay. We really need to figure out where I want equipment to go. What was the Legion? Strength. I need to raise her strength. Or give it to Zevran. Give it to Zevran. Gloves of the Legion. Is Alistair strong enough for Legion? No. You are, though. Let's give you the Legion. Do we not have a helmet of the Legion? Yes, we do. Okay. Okay. That looks kind of neat. Also, kind of almost fitting for Sten, I'd say. I'll give it to him. Loves of Diligence. Look at the little lord. Forge Master's Hammer versus Nug Crusher. +4 to Dexterity, 100 to Stamina, chance to stun. Fire resistance, 6 to attack. I don't know, I'll keep the... whatchamacallit. Alright. Sten needs the sword, the silver sword. Unless the Nug Crusher would just be better. No. No, it would not. Antique Warden's crossbow. This is better. For being a crossbow, it's pretty good. Three to damage, rapid aim, range critical chance, 3 to armor penetration. I give that to myself. Critical chance? No. I'll take that one. No. No. So hard to like figure out what you want to keep and what you want to like get rid of. Actually, no. I want to drop stuff off in these containers first. Give all sapphires. Give all malachites. Give all amethysts. Give all topazes. Give all elf roots. Give all deep mushrooms. Give all death roots.
You are good to your troops, Warden. At your command, Warden. Orzamar's finest are eager to carve some history. Outfitting any army on gems would serve them.
At your word, Warden. We have assembled craft...
Alright. Let's officially head out. I think I might like take more time to look through other stuff, but I at least want to get Redcliffe started today before we don't make any progress at all. I think that's enough housekeeping, so to speak, and anything else I can kind of finish on our own. Oh, we got stuff going on.
Danger always attracting danger.
Assassins! Canary!
At your order.
Hurry.
Hurry.
I see.
Spells. Let's go Blizzard as well.
Very well. On my way.
assassin archer. That one goes down. Fairly easy, too.
As you say. Very well.
Goes down pretty easy.
As you say. Very well.
Being stunned, though, is not nice.
Stop. Don't kill him.
What? Why not?
He is no common bandit. None of them were. Their weapons and armor are of fine make, and they are well trained. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Who are you?
Someone who regrets taking you on. I was told it would be an easy job. Kill the little red-haired girl. Deal with the others as we pleased.
Kill the... You came to kill me?
Who's trying to kill Liliana?
I don't pay to ask why someone wants someone else dead. I just need to know what to do and where to get my money. Ha! Money. I'll be lucky to get away with my life, it seems. Maybe we could work something out. You like the idea?
Speak quickly.
I've no real quarrel with you. Wasn't me that wanted you dead. But I know how you can find the one who does.
What's his name?
Never found out. Got the feeling the man I spoke to was doing someone else's bidding, too. I have some directions written down on how to get to the house. It's in Denerim. Yeah, it's the best I can do.
Thank you. Now leave. I never want to see you again.
Yes, go. Be grateful for your life.
Don't worry. I'll not trouble you no more.
It's Marjolaine. It has to be.
Why now?
Maybe someone saw me. Maybe she's finally found me and wants to finish what she started.
We should go to Denerim to confront her.
Perhaps it's time to settle this score for good.
Liliana's
Is it just
passed.
me, or did I do really badly back there?
Or did I do really badly back then? I feel that, Alistair. How are we on our inventory space, by the way? Yeah, we were able to get a lot of kind of condensed down. I guess a lot of it really was those, like, runes and stuff. It really started weighing us down so much. Could have dropped some other stuff off for sure, too, but that's okay. Made enough progress. Just double checking to make sure that there is nothing else. Does look like it's it, though. Alright. On the path to Redcliffe.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier.
What's on your mind? Let me guess, you're an idiot.
I told you before how Al Eamon raised me, right? That my mother was a serving girl at the castle and he took me in? The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose.
So you're not just a bastard, but a royal bastard. Doesn't that make you heir to the throne? What? You don't think you might have told me this before?
How? When would I say that? Oh, by the way, King Marek had sex with a servant and she produced a bastard son. That's me. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Kaelin's rule, and so they kept me secret. I'd never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry.
I think I understand.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It's not like I got special treatment for it anyhow. At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it.
You're heir to the throne, then.
Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. No, if there's an heir to be found, it's Arl Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Kaelin's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... Oh, no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens.
As you command. My prince.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it.
I gotta tease him a little. I think we could have gotten more approval points if I didn't fucking tease him. But I did.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us?
I'm on important business. I need to see Arl Eamon.
The Arl? Then you don't know. Has nobody out there heard?
I've heard Arl Eamon is sick, if that's what you mean.
He could be dead for all we know. Nobody's heard from the castle in days. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
We've no army to defend us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left
What comment are you
terrified
talking
they're
about,
next.
Czar?
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does.
Welcome
I
in,
should
Demi.
take
It's
you to
nice seeing have you
Van
here. How are you doing tonight?
He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Van Tegan, Arl Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far.
Don't
if you'll
worry
come with
about
me.
it, he says.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple.
Let's go! Disconnected from Xbox
No, my
Live.
lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Tegan, Ban of Rainersphere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Ban Tegan, though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news.
Still alive, yes. Though not for long if Tern Loghain has anything to say about it.
Indeed. Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things.
You do not believe Loghain's lies?
What, that he pulled his men in order to save them? That Kaelin risked everything in the name of glory? Hardly. Loghain calls the Grey Wardens traitors, murderers of the king. I don't believe it. It is an act of a desperate man. So, you are a Grey Warden as well? Is it possible we've met? You seem very familiar.
You may have known my father, Tern Kuzlin.
Ah, yes, that's it, exactly. A pleasure to meet you indeed, though I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault.
I can help you drive him back.
How pointless to help these villagers fight an impossible battle. One would think we had enough to contend with elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdoch what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdoch, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Sir Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle.
I wanted to discuss the situation with you.
Of course.
You have some of Arl Eamon's knights here?
I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes?
Quest?
Eamon's illness is very serious. The Arlessa, out of desperation, sent the knights on a quest for a cure. I know little about this, other than that the cure was supposed to be an ancient relic of great power. Sir Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more.
Why are you in the chantry with all the villagers?
Sir Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss.
Won't that look cowardly?
I'm not here for glory. I would prefer being outside, but Perth has a point. We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible.
What happens after this battle's over?
Hopefully we can find the source and stop it before it causes any more damage. With luck, we'll also find Eamon and be able to help him.
What are exactly these things that attack the village?
I do not know. They seem to be walking corpses, men with rotting flesh that continue to attack even with the gravest injuries.
Undead, spirits possessing the dead. There could be several causes behind such a thing, none of them pleasant.
Just get back to work.
Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
Morgan disapproves, Liliana approves, Morgan disapproves. Oh boy.
What do you need? There is not much daylight left.
Tell me more about yourself.
This is hardly the time to be discussing personal details, don't you think? We will have to fight for our lives very shortly.
Come on, is knowing a little about you too much to ask?
I beg your pardon, my lady. Where are my manners? What would you like to know?
What will you do if Arl Eamon is dead?
I don't know. If Connor lives, he'll be the Arl, and I'll need to help him with it. If he's... well, I don't want to think about that.
Why have you stayed? Why didn't you just leave?
After the first attack, I wanted to go for help, but I couldn't just leave these people. The Banon gear up to battle Loghain, while Darkspawn loom to the south. Loghain won't send anyone, so Redcliffe is on its own.
Are you a skilled warrior?
Skilled enough to know there are many far better than myself.
That does say you do have some skill. A skilled person knows where their weaknesses are. Do you have any family yourself?
Oh, you mean, am I married? No, I've never had the pleasure. If I did, I'd be lucky to find a woman as lovely as yourself.
You don't know a thing about me. Flatter her.
If I may be so bold, what of you, my lady? Are you married?
No, I'm not.
I find that hard to believe. Surely that is a crime somewhere. But I am too bold, my lady. This is hardly the time for such banter. Please accept my apology.
In fact, you are not bold enough, my lord. It's quite all right. For what? I'm not offended.
You're too kind, my lady. Amongst many other things.
Perhaps should we get back?
Good, and my secrets are still safe. I was worried for a moment there.
Let's see what I can do.
Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
I'm scared, Mother. When are the bad men coming?
Soon, darling. Don't worry. Everything will be all right.
Let us pray. Blessed art thou who exists in the Maker's sight.
Yet.
Blessed art thou who seeks his forgiveness.
They're gone.
Blessed art thou who seeks his return.
Trip.
Blessed is the prophetess, his daughter, sacrificed to the holy flame.
Brave young man.
You are a stranger amongst us, yet you still agree to defend our village in its darkest hour.
Yes.
We are most grateful to you.
Be grateful when we win the battle.
I will be grateful of your attempt, even if it fails. We can ask no more. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry.
which for the moment is a place of refuge for these poor villagers.
How awful this must be for you all. Is this everyone who's left?
All those who cannot defend themselves, yes. They are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task?
I would like your blessing, Mother.
Of course, child. Blessed art thou who exists in the Maker's sight. Blessed art thou who seeks
I like how
his
Leliana gets down
forgiveness.
in praise.
Blessed art thou who seeks his return. Blessed is the prophetess, his daughter, sacrificed to the holy flame. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition.
I guess I can do that.
What is it you need, child?
Just Leliana's the good. I do like Leliana a lot. Just how safe is the chantry?
It is the sturdiest building in the village. The women, elderly, and children will stay here during the battle, while the militia and knights protect them. They set up a barricade outside the chantry to keep monsters from getting inside. If anything gets in, Ban Tegan is our only defense. Please, have mercy. Help these people. Do whatever you can.
I should go.
May the Maker watch over you, child.
There's a good lad. In the morning, we'll look.
Good day. You're a Grey Warden, right? Were you in Ostagar? In the Korkari Wilds? My husband and son went there to bring the chant of light to the chastened.
Welcome in, Darius. It's
haven't
nice
heard
seeing
from
have
him
you. How are you
since.
doing tonight? Are you Cheta?
I am. You've heard of me?
Just a hunch. Take care. I have something here from your husband.
Oh? Oh, his lockbox. If you're bringing me this... Oh, no. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for bringing this to me. It means a lot, too. Maker's blessings upon you. These are terrible times. Just terrible.
I'm so scared,
Sorry.
Father.
Am I bothering
What
you?
are we going to do?
I'll try to be more quiet.
Are you alright? Why are you crying?
Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere.
How terrible, you poor thing. I wish there was something we could do to help.
And now my brother Bevan, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too.
Don't worry, I'll look for him.
You will? Thank you so much. Please find him.
Silence, girl. Do you want the children to hear you?
But night is coming.
Good day.
The monsters will return and we sit here and wait for them.
These are terrible times.
We have
Just
no
terrible.
choice.
Alright, to the village.
Ah, fresh.
You know, we don't have the men we need. And their numbers just keep growing each night.
Well, still no sign of them coming back from the castle, Murdoch.
Tell them to maintain watch. I don't want a surprise attack before the sun goes down.
Yes.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you? I didn't think they made women Grey Wardens.
And why would you think that?
For more reasons than you care to hear, I bet. Still, there's no reason to think Van Tegan's lost his mind. We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdoch, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight.
Have faith, good man. We will defeat this evil together.
I hope you're right. I've been trying to hold us together, but it isn't easy. Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me you're in charge.
What can I do to help?
We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help.
Thank you, Flair, for the self-care package. I'm indeed sitting up straight. Stretch. We'll do a stand-up stretch break here in a moment. I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate it. If he doesn't help, he'll die like the rest of us. What good will that do anyone then?
Welcome in, kiddos. It's nice seeing have you here. Let me get a shout out going for you as well. How are you doing, kiddos? When you approach the dresser, something moves inside. You hear a short, surprised intake of breath, then silence. Hello, is someone in there?
Go away. This isn't your home. This is my home. My home, you hear me?
Bevan, is that you?
How do you know my name?
I spoke to your sister in the chantry.
Did she tell you to take me back to the chantry? Don't make me go back there. I hate that place. I hate it.
Why do you hate the chantry so much?
Everybody's scared. But they tell me I shouldn't be scared. And they tell me I shouldn't be sad that Mother died. I don't want to be sad. I'm brave. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to fight them off. I will.
From in there?
No. I just heard you coming, and I guess that's not very brave of me, is it? I'll come out now. All right, I came out. You won't hurt me, will you? I'll go back to the chantry if you really want.
First, tell me what you were doing in there.
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Are you sure? Maybe I could help you.
You could. All right, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was Grandfather's, and Grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like Grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother.
Where's the sword now?
In the chest. In Mother's room. Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone.
Don't worry about it. Go back to your
But
sister.
Oh, all right. I guess. She'll be pretty mad at me. But I'll go.
I don't want to... As much as I'm curious about the family heirloom, I don't want to take a,
Impossible.
I don't want to take a family heirloom without permission. That'd be different if it was one of the adults giving it to me. But it's not, so...
Bevan said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you.
Just stay safe, both of you.
The Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
Quest complete. Death route. Liliana sees a chest.
Just like you wanted.
Just like you wanted. You're right, it is just like I wanted. Wait, there's a door over here. There's a door! Let's find the door. Can't find the door. How do I door? Oh, there's the door.
Go away. Curse you. Leave me in peace. You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left.
Is this Owen the blacksmith? I need to speak with you.
Huh? Who is that? What do you want? I've been through enough.
I prefer not to speak through a door. Can I come in?
All right, all right. Let me undo the locks. All I ask is that you don't make any trouble.
Well, you got it, friend.
Maker's breath. What is that smell? It's like someone set a brewery on fire.
Somebody's been drinking.
So I let you in. You wanted to talk. Now we're talking. Mind telling me who you are?
My name's Jesse, a Grey Warden helping Van Tegan.
A Grey Warden, is it? It takes all kinds. Anyhow, my name's Owen, though you might already know that. Care to join me as I get besotted? Or is there something in particular you wanted?
Why have you locked yourself in the smithy?
My girl, Velena, is one of the Alessa's maids, and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her. She's been my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village, or anyone!
I will rescue your daughter.
It'd do me the world of good to think maybe someone like you could go in and find her. Provided any of us live through the night.
I'll do my best.
Not good enough. Murdoch said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either.
You were asking a great deal, you wretched little man.
I want a promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can.
I promise you I'll find her.
I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least.
Oh, lovely. Shall we next begin rescuing kittens from trees?
Yes.
And I suppose there's no point in me sitting around, is there? Time to relight the forge and get the smithy going, eh? Murdoch will be pleased. If you need anything done, well, just let me know. I've got a lot to do now, so you'll have to excuse me.
Morgan disapproved yet again.
Hey, I see you found my hiding place. I stuck some old equipment in there before Murdoch could get his hands on it.
Speak.
I don't think there's anything you'll need in there. But it's hard to say. I was in a bit of a rush when I filled it up.
Couldn't the militia use this?
Not if I'm going to repair the equipment they have. That stuff is old, anyhow. Yeah, let me open it for you. I have the key.
Still some stuff to just sell off. I'll take it. I'll take equipment. Ugh. What else is going on?
Well, it looks like Owen's finally doing the repairs we need.
Yeah.
The damn fool is falling over drunk and still manages to make smithying look easy. Good enough, I say. I'll inform Bantegan the militia is ready to fight. We'll give those bastards a welcome they won't soon forget.
We're not only ready, Murdoch, we're going to win.
I hope you're right. We may just be village folk, but we're going to fight like there's no tomorrow.
I still need to speak to Sir Perth. How's morale?
The men's spirits are high for now. Far better than I expected, to be honest. Since you convinced Owen to start repairs, we're pretty well armed now. That is a relief, let me tell you. Overall, I'd say the militia's very ready to fight. Never thought I'd say that, but there you go. Is there anything else?
I have some questions.
Oh? Ask away.
Where can I get supplies?
If you want weapons and such, speak to Owen. He may not have much in stock yet, though.
But there's nowhere to actually buy or sell things?
Commerce isn't exactly our biggest concern right now, but you might want to speak to Lloyd at the tavern. I wouldn't trust him, though.
Tell me about what's happened here.
Don't rightly know. We heard the Arl was sick and getting worse, but after a while we heard nothing at all. A few folks went up to the castle to see what was going on. They couldn't get in. Nobody was there, not a soul. And then those horrid creatures attacked the village. They were everywhere, people dying. It was awful. Good thing Bantegan was here.
Do you know anything about Arl Eamon's illness?
No. I know the Arlessa sent the knights out for a cure. You can ask Sir Perth about it. He was one of them.
I want to discuss something
There's
else.
not much time before sundown.
Anything else I can do?
We could use some extra bodies. Having a veteran like Dwin in the militia would help a lot, but he flat out refuses.
Tell me about Dwin.
He's a trader, a dwarf, lives near the lake. Locked himself up in his home with some of his workers, he has. Says he doesn't need any of us. We could use somebody with his fighting experience, but he won't come out.
I want to discuss something
There's not
else.
much time before sundown.
I'll be back. I need to check on something. Locked himself in his home by the lake. You say. General store. That's a wooden crate. That's a barrel. Lake Callan had no swimming. Engraved silver bowl. Realized I'm not playing as me, I'm playing as Liliana. I want to play as me. Door is locked and looks as if it's been recently repaired. Hello? Knock on the door. We're gonna pick the lock. It is now hopelessly jammed. Alright, break it open.
Wonderful. Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home.
I apologize, I don't mean any harm.
Apology accepted. The name's Dwin. Pleased to meet you. Now get out.
Murdoch says he needs you for the militia.
So what? You recruiting for him? I'll tell you what I told Murdoch. I'm not risking my neck for this town.
Can't I change your mind?
Maybe. Let's hear what you've got.
Put in a good word with you for Bantegan or the Arrow.
You might just be able to pull that off. Fine. I'll throw in with the militia. For now. You better be out there too when the sun goes down. I'm not fighting for a lost cause, you hear me?
Understandable. Have a nice day. I do wonder why he wasn't going to fight, but, you know. Guess we'll have to find that out eventually. Ugh. Speaking is good and easy.
The repairs are underway surprisingly quickly, considering how drunk
I'd
Owen
like to
is.
talk about Dwyn.
Thanks for persuading him to come out here. He's going to be a great help. I just know it.
I'll be back. Need to check on something.
Stop fidgeting.
I don't like being out here, Dwyn. Mayor's giving me the evil eye.
There is one thing I do not understand, Alistair.
Just the one thing.
About you, perhaps. Why the deception over your parentage?
I'd figure you'd be the sort who knows all about deception.
I do. And what use the deception might have had ended when King Cailan perished, did it not?
Maybe. I guess I was sort of hoping that would go away.
The truth does not go away.
I didn't say it was a good plan.
How am I supposed to get over there? Apparently I went all sorts of the wrong way. I think we'll go through this night and then see where we are. We did do a lot of talking and we did do a little bit of housekeeping kind of stuff. May try to go through and whatchamacallit.
So I see you are quite the little deceiver after all.
Finally decided to gloat, have you?
It simply suits my view of the Chantry that one of their devoted sisters should turn out to be so full of hypocrisy.
There are good people in the Chantry. Many good people who are just there to help others.
And apparently at least a few who are simply pretending to be good.
At least... Ooh, a windmill. I once took a ride on the stairs of a windmill. Didn't turn out well.
I had the dialogue get cut off. That makes me a little upset.
No word from the castle? No, all is still, as it has been for days.
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Ban Tegan is to see you here. I must admit I do not know quite how to address you. Is my lady sufficient?
I don't care what you call me.
I am Sir Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with the Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost.
Is there anything I can do to help?
We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered.
Anything else you need?
No, nothing comes to mind. If you have not spoken to the Mayor, Murdoch, you should. His militia is far more in need of aid than we are.
I have some questions for you.
Ask me whatever you wish.
Where can I get supplies?
I'm not sure. Murdoch mentioned a blacksmith in the village, but I believe the militia is using everything he had. Beyond that, you might try the village store. It's locked up, but there may be items of use still within. I do not know.
What about the tavern?
A fellow named Lloyd runs it. He refuses to close and evacuate to the Chantry. I suppose he might still have something to sell you, though I wouldn't encourage dealing with a fool. He's a profiteer and nothing more.
You mentioned something about an urn.
When the Isle fell sick, we were at a loss. Nothing worked to cure him, and he just kept getting worse. Finally, our lesser Isolde came up with a plan. The Urn of Sacred Ashes is a legendary artifact said to hold great healing powers. If found, it might save him.
They say the followers of Andraste smuggled her ashes out of Tevinter and hid them in Ferelden. The urn's never been heard of since.
We knights volunteered to seek it out. Few of us have returned. Many are still out there, unaware of what is happening here.
What was the Arl sick with?
We were never certain. He thirsted for water and then grew weaker and weaker. We brought in a mage, but even that did nothing. The Arlessa believed he was cursed and that we needed the power of Andraste herself, or he would surely perish.
Why did the Arlessa believe anyone could find the urn?
The Arl once employed a scholar, Brother Genetivi. He had proof the urn was in Ferelden, or so I was told.
Can no one find the other knights and bring them back?
Eventually, perhaps. The ones I have here were those near enough to recall within the last few days. I only returned myself because I was passing by Redcliffe and heard the news of strange attacks.
So none of the knights left the castle defenseless?
Not at all. A great number of soldiers remained in Castle Redcliffe. I wonder if they perished there and were transformed into these things. The thought chills my blood.
I want to discuss something else.
As you wish.
What is your status?
Although we are far better equipped than Murdoch and his villagers, we knights are too few. Things will be grim after sundown. Overall, my fellow knights are nervous about the coming battle. Death is almost certain, but we will fight and die valiantly if that's what the Maker demands.
I have some questions for you.
Ask me whatever you wish.
Carry on.
As you wish.
Say no more. The Arl lives, and I will not listen to your inauspicious chatter.
Alright, so we're gonna go talk to the mother, and then we will begin our onslaught against all these enemies.
It is begun. What now? Of course. Here I am. Yes?
Yes. I was trying to get hit by the arrow. I'm not even gonna lie about it, I was trying to get hit. Because that would have been funny. Be like, ow, motherfucker.
What is it you need, child?
Sir Perth needs holy protection for the night.
I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Sir Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give.
What do you mean?
Sir Perth believes that I can protect them against these creatures, a shield only the Maker can provide, and that I withhold this power.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that.
I suppose you are right.
Indeed. I know Sir Perth means well, but I will not lie to him about something so important.
I should go. Yeah, I kind of agree with her. I agree morale is a very powerful tool, but I feel like it's also wrong to lie about something like that. So I respect her decision, even. Of, yeah, I'm not going to lie just because I can. I kind of admire that she's sticking to her morals.
The Knights of Redcliffe are ready to fight at your disposal.
I'm ready. You said you wanted a holy protection?
Have you spoken to the revered mother? Has she offered anything?
Mother Hannah does not believe she can help you.
I see. Then I suppose we must simply rely on our own prayers. The Maker will not help us. Thank you for your efforts. We shall fight on, nevertheless.
I'm ready to make my stand here.
There is still time before the sun goes down. If you have not yet spoken to Murdoch, or if there is anything you have planned...
No, I'm ready now.
Good luck to you then, and may the Maker watch over us all.
I guess I could have checked out the tavern or the store, but I didn't really interest me too much. I mean, I guess we could have been like, well, go to the Chantry or whatever, but
They're coming. Get to your positions. Make ready.
It's time, men. Know that we fight for the Maker, and our...
I am ready.
I am ready.
It shall be done. I shall do it. It is begun. Yes?
Yes. Let's make this quick.
I see it. I shall do it.
Me and Alistair shall act as like pretty much the human wall of things.
Very well.
No quarter.
Very well.
We might get affected by some of this, but as long as it helps keep them down a little bit,
Very well.
I'm fine with it.
It shall be done. I shall do it. It is begun.
Wow, Morgan used up all her spells.
Try to be fast. Very well. Watch out!
Show them the fight of Red
It
Cliff.
shall be done.
We're doing pretty good on this defense, I'd say. I don't think we've had a single target go down the hill just yet. Which is pretty good. Slice and dice.
The monsters are attacking from the lake. They're attacking the barricades. We need help.
Knight, stay here and guard the
We
path.
need to hurry.
These humans don't know the hilt of a sword from the pointy end.
Run! Time to go save the people. This will allow us to recharge back up too. Oregon especially. Let's go, a Tempest.
As you wish.
As you wish.
I see. It is begun.
It is begun.
Don't be a
Assault.
I shall do it. Very well. It is begun.
Trying to keep as many of them alive as we can.
You should try while you can.
But I don't think that's... I think that's like near impossible to try to keep everyone alive.
As you say. Very well.
As much as we may try. see a few of them that have gone down. There's just so many. We don't understand them. Hit the corpse. Got him. Slice and dice. Let's go assault.
I shall do it. It is begun. Very well. Shall we? As you say.
I was gonna say Morgan might be going down here in a minute. I'm glad she didn't, but we got a little close, I'm not gonna lie.
Shall be done. Let's finish this.
It's a gusher!
I see. I shall do it. As you wish. I see. So be it. Very well. So be it. I shall do it. I see.
I'm waiting for the magic to kind of charge up a little bit.
I shall do it.
But maybe that's not the best way.
I see. So be it. I shall do it. I see.
No, I think it's over. Is that all you've got?
I shall do it.
Murdoch? Which one was Murdoch? Was that the mayor? Oh no.
Dawn arrives, and we survived the night. We are victorious. And though this victory came at great cost, we must remember none of us would be here were it not for the heroism of these good folk beside me. I thank you, dear lady. Truly the Maker smiled on us when he sent you here in our darkest hour.
There's still much to do, Bantegan.
Surely these people deserve some small celebration, don't you think? There is time yet.
Let us bow our heads and give honor to those who gave their lives in defense of Redcliffe.
Murdoch of Redcliffe, Mayor and beloved father, we salute you.
You and so many others who have perished here, walk with he who is your maker. Long may you know the peace of his love.
So let it be.
With the Maker's favor, the blow we delivered today is enough for me to enter the castle and seek out your Arl. Be wary and watch for signs of renewed attack. We shall return with news as soon as we are able. Now, we've no time to waste. Meet me at the mill. We can talk further there.
Morgan levels up. Now Redcliffe is saved. Let's level up Morgan real quick. Let's give her more points to magic. I wonder what allows us to unlock that. I don't want to unlock Chain Lightning. But I think that's where we're going to wrap up here for the night. I feel like we've kind of done a lot. We did a lot of character and plot development for the beginning part of today. Which, as much as I like doing, does tend to wear me out a little bit. We also were able to get started with Redcliffe, which I'm trying to remember everything with Redcliffe. I don't think it's that much, but I think we're gonna wrap up here for the night. Like I said, I was gonna say something now, I can't remember. But we will... Oops, I'm not over here. Let me fix that. We will be live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, for some more Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance with Tim Noda, my dear friend. Figure we'll wrap up a little early tonight, since I don't feel like we were making bad progress. I feel like we made a decent amount of progress in the amount of time that we were playing, and we actually got into playing, so doing pretty good, I'd say. Like I said, we had a lot of character development too and whatnot, and interacting with everyone. For our raid message tonight, let's go for defended against the onslaught of the undead. Time to head to Castle Redcliffe. As for who we'll be raiding out to tonight, let's see what's going on and where. Let's go... You know what? Let's go say hello to Flair. We don't always go say hello over there. So let's go say hello to Flair tonight. But we will be live again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I do feel kind of tired all of a sudden, which is another reason why we're kind of like going to wrap up a little early. But we will be live again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, for more Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. That'll be fun and exciting. But until next time, guys, please do take care and have a lovely rest of the night. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.